Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Campus Care Ed Talks. Ed Talks is a platform where educators and leaders come on board and express their viewpoints related to education and society. Our topic for the discussion is how to encourage students to be more creative and think out of the box. To express their viewpoints on the same, we have with us Miss Sujata ma'am, who's the principal of Sri Jayendra Saraswati Vidyalaya School, Coimbatore. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am, and thank you so much, for gracing your presence on this show.
Namaste, ma'am, and a very hearty welcome to one and all gathered here. And very happy to join this entire, and this is the second time I'm joining it with the different topics.
It's complete our honor and pleasure, ma'am. And to start off with the session, I would like to ask, the very first thing from you is how do you encourage creative thinking in school, ma'am?
Yeah. Creativity is seeing what others see and thinking what no one else ever thought, was told by Albert Einstein. And I am a staunch follower of Swami Vivekananda. And always Swamiji says that every soul is potentially divine. So the creativity is a quality that you bring to the activity that you are doing. It is an attitude or an inner approach of how you look at things. Maybe all may be seeing the things, but the way we are thinking about how we are presenting it is varying from person to person. So the creativity is nothing but turning a new and imaginative ideas into reality. And creativity encompasses the ability to discover a new and original ideas connection to any problem solving questions. And it is also part of our drive as a humans fostering resilience, sparking joy, and providing opportunities for self actualization. We always now thinking about the 21st century skills and out of box thinking. So it is our duty, the management of the school, to think that how the children can enter the school campus with happiness and with joy. So today the creative thinking skill is being incorporated in the NEP too. So it is our main thing is to make the fresh ideas to come into life, and how the students can get into a creative and thinking outside box thinking. We have to think about it. So I generally say creativity is a quality that you can bring to the activity you are doing, and the way we approach with the students, we should encourage the student to think and ask why, how it has happened. And we should have patience to listen to every students what they are thinking about it. So the NEP 2020 has initiated 360-degree transformation with a focus on 21st century skills in pedagogy and course structures and assessment to achieve the better perspective in 2030. So moving away from the rote learning and the examination pattern, we should allow the children to think beyond it, concept understanding and lateral and critical thinking to make the students to stand for their job in future. So this is what we always encourage, ma'am.
Absolutely, ma'am. So, ma'am, if we would like to go further, we would like to know that does traditional education have space for creativity? So, whenever we see, like you've clearly told us, that NEP 2020 has a 360-degree change in, the teaching style, the way we are doing it, and the way we are following it. So, does traditional education have that space of creativity?
Yes, 100%, ma'am, 100%. Because we in our school, the Jendra, what we do is we celebrate all the functions, and we bring that atmosphere because the children cannot go to the village. So we bring the atmosphere like when we are celebrating Pongal or when we are celebrating Christmas. So that atmosphere is being created, and we give chance to every children, and we'll ask them to depict whatever they want, let them go through. And we have seen a lot of novelty among the children. better than what we think. The children are doing it very nicely, and by giving the in charge for different clubs. So we have given a eco club where we have created a micro forest, and the children have participated and in the cleansing of lake and area. So that was done in the olden days, like Guru Parambara, where the children being stayed there and they will be cleaning it. So we have seen how they can make the forest a better one. And the care and share. So the traditional learning help us to give the joint family system where the children being guided by the grandparents. So that will also help them, and how to behave with the people in public, the due respect to the elders. And we celebrate like Guru Purnima and Vidya Pravesh, where they are stepping into the adolescent. So how to treat the teachers, and also they will be giving reverence to the parents and adopting the skills what they are following now. So nowadays, both the parents are working. They never find time to sit with the children to talk regarding how to go on with the current education, and also never very little time to spend time with the children about asking how it is happening in the school. So the traditional learning 100% providing a creativity, and here now beyond that what they can do, the children are incorporating it. So we find it that the children can learn a lot of creativity in traditional learning too.
Absolutely. So, ma'am, is creative thinking an essential skill in today's life? So, like we are, transforming our curriculum, our way of understanding things. How is it important to have a creative thinking that is essential in today's life?
Yeah. Because nowadays you can see about the emotional stability is very, very less among the children. Why? Because they have been sent to school, means they have been concentrating in academics. So apart from academic, the children should have a collaboration, and they should have a free way of communication, and they have to think critically, and also what can be done best. So we should inculcate some of the qualities in the school, so that the children will be very emotionally stable, and they can face whatever in the outside world. So inspire students to take risk in their ideas, even if it is wrong. Mistakes are the stepping stone for the success, and also encourage them to come up with the solution. If they have found any mistake, what can be the solution? So that can also be, children can find it, and the teacher can counsel it wherever necessary. Give feedback on each idea and help them to improve it, and showcase the creativity often as possible, because the creativity varies from children to children. Every child is unique. Every child has got lot of potential. So some may be good in singing, drawing, or many other things they have. So let them showcase their creativity in whatever, the even in academics or even in the outside world. And allow time each day a week for independent projects. So whatever they are dealing with, allow them and encourage them to do that better. And have a classroom theme for every week or even 15 days once, and they can create a lot of ideas, and that can also be visualized by the parents. And visualize the ideas and goal. Let them have a goal, so that based on the goal they can develop their creativity, and let them develop their hobbies and reflection. They have to see the reflection how they are doing it, and display the inspirational quote whom they should have some people as a role model, and they can go beyond it. And as we all know, Abdul Kalam ji has come from the village, and he is now standing as a role model for all over the world. So we can quote many examples, and the children can take some of the role model, and they can go beyond it.
Absolutely, ma'am. I mean, obviously, the rightly stated examples with all of it, ma'am. But what we understand is, see, we are still, we though, are coming up with transitions, we are coming up with, the revisal of the curriculum and the way of styles and teaching. So, ma'am, what do you think? So, when we talk about creativity, when we talk about, thinking out of the box, how difficult or maybe how challenging it is for for the teachers as well. So we obviously we have to encourage students to be more creative and thinking out of the box. But before that, obviously teachers have to go through the homework and the R&Ds in order to understand that how will they encourage. So what is their homework behind that, or how are you coping up in terms of how are you facing this challenge?
Yes, ma'am. Thing is, first we have to give a lot of training to the teachers. The teachers has to update with the subject knowledge, and apart from it, how the subject can reach the children. So generally, we always ask the teacher whenever when they are teaching the chapters, we are giving some gist to the children. Then every children will be allowed to speak. In the olden days, whatever the teacher says, the children will learn. Now it is not so. It should be an interactive classroom, and maybe a class with 25 or 30, whatever may be the strength. The 35 students should speak about whatever the topic the teacher is taking, and they can be allowed to write in the board, and we have to make a definition or whatever the sentence today, whatever they are going to learn from the words given by the children. So the children feel happy, their points is being considered. And apart from that, chapter to chapter, they can bring out lot of activities. So that is the thing we say, out of box thinking, maybe a puppet show, or we can also inform the children if they are teaching about the plants, let them take the children outside the classroom and teach them effectively. So the children may have different types of doubts, maybe a leaf, a veins, maybe a difference. So how it is going, different types of venation, or the what are the shapes of the plants. All these things they will be learning, colors and everything we teach. Let them feel about the plants and how they are looking at. So the teacher has to work out every chapter, and we generally have Saturdays for a discussion how they will be carrying out the next week, and how effectively and how they can involve the children for the activities. So that we also have children with head boy, head girl, and cultural people in charges, and that school council members will be there. So we get feedback from the children also how to go with, and the chapters. Sometimes we feel proud to say some children they are giving a music for some topics. They frame a song, they sing the song instead of in a mnemonic method to remember. For example, physics, we have electromagnetic waves. That electromagnetic waves order of remembering is very different. So what we have done, we made a song, and that song helps them to remember what is the waves will come and what are the uses. So we give opportunity to the children. So the children are very good in singing, or the children are very good in drawing, mind mapping. So all this being created by the teachers with the help of students also, and we give sufficient training to the teachers before they go to the classes. So the Saturdays being utilized properly by the teacher. So I can say proudly say in Jayendra, the children, when we ask whether you want a holiday or you want to come to school, they feel happily say, we love to come to school, because they are exploring, they are learning a lot. And so their values and whatever they are doing it, we just posted it in the notice board and been appreciated, and will be sending the message to parents. So parents feel happy about it when they are getting an appreciation message about the child, and now child started working more towards the creativity.
Absolutely, ma'am. So, ma'am, with this, creative thing of, is being Saturday utilized to the very best, I would like to know that, there must be, since there's a lot of brainstorming session that happens on every Saturday, and there are
Yeah.
various, different ways that you keep on coming up with the creative way of teaching. One interesting idea that, or maybe an, surprising idea that must have come from a teacher that could have given a new definition to teaching, maybe, or a new style of maybe providing knowledge to kids. And one interesting idea from a student that could have come and you has changed life altogether in terms of education system. Because we know, see, we every even in our times we were having skits. We also have plays. We used to learn through those ways. There were various competitions in order to be there in proactiveness of our cases. But now we are talking about the entire way of learning. So how and what are the one of the best and the very interesting way that you could find when you have received a suggestion, or you have received something that could be, oh, we can use it, but it's very interesting, and people will students will love it.
Yeah. Thing is, I'll just talk about my subject, the physics. When I was teaching about the projectile, I always we are giving the definition of the projectile. So that idea, when we are teaching it, when a ball is moved in a parabolic way, we call that as a projectile. So with some velocity. So immediately, that as a student from my class told me that, ma'am, then what we are playing like a volleyball or throw ball, is it a projectile? Yes, it is absolutely right. Then I thought, why can't we take the children to the ground and we can explain, so that it is a really a difficult topic, a projectile, but that may be easier because of the sparkling idea given by a child. Why can't we go to the playground? Then I took them to the playground, and what happened is I was teaching the whole lesson. That is the distance between when I am throwing and then it is falling. That is called as a horizontal range. And the time taken to complete it is called as time of flight. So the difficult topic which I was using earlier in board, black and white, when I was teaching it, now it was made me very easier. Even the late bloomers were able to identify properly the definition. They can write in their own words. CBSE has got that much provision. They can write in their own words. So they were explaining it, and you won't believe that topic. The children were 100% thorough in the topic because I took them to the ground. So the sports integrated learning, along with the sports and my physics topic was correlated, and that made me. So why can't we do all the activities? So now you know that CBSE is already introduced about the integrated learning. It's not only physics. Physics can also be dealt with chemistry or maths, and even with the sports. So whatever possibility now we have started utilizing, because the children love to play games. So when we teach with the help of games, and I always also used to say that whatever the top Bernoulli's theorem, so activity oriented method was being developed. Whatever the concept, the teachers started doing one activity, not the with the chalk and talk. We were doing real aid experiment, and that made the children to understand the concept better. So we have collected lot of resources. So not only the brainstorming session will be done, we do the project, we do the activities, and we will keep it in a room called a resource room, so that anyone who wants to deal with the topic, they will be utilizing it, and they will be explaining to the concept. And we will not stop at that level also. If the children are very much interested, we will ask them to do exploring in the topic and what are all the principles connected to day-to-day life. So that we give them as a junior scientist of Jayendra School. So we name them, so they feel proud. And on that week, they may be going with the badge. So they feel honored, and we are getting a lot of ideas from them. So this is a small example I'm giving it.
Absolutely, ma'am. So, like you've said, integrated teaching. I would rather said experiential teaching as well.
Experiential learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you are learning, you are teaching, and they are learning. So it's
Yes.
like not the rote one, like black and board. You have a chalk and you're just teaching everything on black and board, and telling people to understand. Now they're practically realizing it. Okay, we're talking about something that is happening in our day to day lives. So for somebody who doesn't even like physics and is not a fan of physics, and then things are really easy and quick, so maybe there might come a time that physics may be their favorite subject, or there may be topics that they might want to go into the practicality of it and understand what exactly it is all about. So that is what we are talking about, the creative side of learning. the out of the box thinking learning, because the moment somebody said it is also so it was a clubbed behavior of the teacher as well as the student, that she could pick
Yeah.
that it was your presence of mind, right, that you could pick that point immediately and you just let the teacher students to walk into the playground and have that first hand experience of it. So that's what makes the creativity for a teacher and a student go hand in hand. So, ma'am, with this note, is there any concluding line? So, I would, this is the takeaway of, the entire session, that, how something is being taught and a child, there might be times when a, teacher shuts down the child. Okay. You always think about sports, sports, sports. But now what creativity has, come into play, you are picking that up and you are using, okay,
Yes.
sports, let's go there. I'll teach that way. So that's what the blessing in disguise is. You are coming up with something which is exceptionally wow. When I think of it as a student back then, my teacher used to scold every time you're talking about sports, sports, sit down.
Ma'am, actually, I always encourage my children to say that if you are very good in sports, because the focusing and the concentration, you can fare well in any other subject. So that is my teacher has told me, and it was true. I am a table tennis player. I am a classical dancer. See, even the classical dance used to teach them angular momentum, the ballet dance, or even the Bharatanatyam. So when we stretch, if you know, the speed will be, when you are rotating it, the speed will be reduced. But when you are folding your hands, the speed will be increased. So this main principle is followed in ballet, dance ballet. Correlate that, and when I do the dance in the classroom, I never mind, because we have to dance or sing or do activity before the children. So I always say it is not a physics period. Let us have fun with physics. So let us, like that, the teachers explore the subject so they feel happy, and we should welcome the ideas of the children. Let us be open and get the ideas from the children, so that that creative ideas will help them to explore still better. And we have a project room, and where the children will be, we have adult tinkering lab in our own. So the children will be allowed to do the project and exploring it, and they are coming out with different small, that is not, I can't say invention or discovery, but they are coming out with new ideas and a robotic way how to go with, and all the drone they have started doing it. So we feel happy, which we can't do now. Our children are doing it and welcoming. And I always remember our Abdul Kalam ji saying about it: when creativity blossoms, thinking emanates. When thinking emanates, the knowledge is fully into it. So when knowledge is there, naturally economic flourishes. So we have to create interest in the minds of the children, and they should love to come to school, and they should become a scientist, or whatever the field they are taking it, let them shine in the field. So main thing I always inform teachers: allow them to speak. Let the teachers speak little, and let the students speak more, and be patient in listening to them. And though the if we are not able to complete the topic, but if we are teaching with creativity, and naturally the lesson will reach in the minds of the children. And I feel happy that we are doing it here.
Absolutely, ma'am. So, with the note, Sujata ma'am has really given us a really insightful way of, teaching and learning. Where she's, taking kids to the playgrounds, she's dancing herself in the classroom, and then, explaining the concept. A very well taken fact, wherein I would rather would want to go back to school and learn the same way. So, thank you so much, Sujata ma'am, for giving us such an insightful session wherein we are understanding that not only we are just talking about creativity, we're not just talking about out of the box thinking, rather we are doing it, we are actually practically following it in our own ways and in our own creative senses. So probably I could be the best one who who could deal with a subject which can be taught in a very different way. So I never thought that physics could be taught in a playground, or having a dance session in the classroom that we are talking about, and balancing and gravity and everything. So I would rather want to be the millennial kid, for example, if you talk about this curriculum. So, but yes, thank you so much, ma'am, for your experience, sharing your experiences and giving us an insightful session. We would, would want to come up with all new topics that would explore the minds of people, and whosoever our audience is, whether it's a kid, whether it's a educator, whether whosoever parents or whosoever the audience is, they obviously would have to have something that could be the takeaway from a session. And something like this is a unique way of understanding and telling people that not only we are talking about changing the 360-degree way of learning and understanding education, we are practically doing it in our schools as well. So with this note, thank you so very much, ma'am, for sharing your presence here and gracing this session. Looking forward to much more.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
So I, Sakshi, host of the evening, would like to sign off with this session. Have a great day, guys. Do subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon for more notifications.